Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Greer, otherwise known as the Ginger Twiglet, has been taken down a peg or two by, real people. People who live their lives, people who go out and meet people, people with friends. All those things he doesn't do or have. He's a very sad, lonely man who lives with his mother and likes to pretend that he's important. But he's come up with a policy that is so evenly rejected by all strata of society, and whether it be a philharmonic concert, whether it be the latest rock band, whether it be a soul singer or a female artist of the year, it doesn't matter. Anyone who goes to a concert needs to be taxed. That's what the Ginger Twiglet is saying, and it's proving to be very, very controversial. People are fed up with it. People are saying, stop taxing us for your failures. Stop overtaxing us simply because you have failed at everything you do. But of course it isn't just that. He's also taxing because he likes to create misery. And if he can make people feel miserable by paying more unnecessarily for tickets, then he'll do that. He is a joyless man with no friends. He wants everyone else to be joyless and friendless too. Let's take a look. So, Greer taken down by fuming Scots after backing calls for a new tax on concert tickets. These things are already expensive and he wants to tax it even more. They're looking for better and more ways to tax people because tax is all they've got. Part of that tax is to raise the funds and revenue they need to repair the damage they've done because they've spent all their money on things that don't need to be spent on, or they've spent them on things that do need to be spent on but have spent them badly and wasted it. But as I say, there's also the fact of they want to tax people into avoiding doing the things that they like to do. It's called pleasure taxes. You like drinking? Put tax on the booze. And so Scotland now has the highest price of alcohol. It hasn't stopped alcoholism. It's made everyone suffer and pay for failed social care policy, and has done nothing to end the alcohol death problem in Scotland. It has, however, created far more poverty and misery. But that is part of the plan. And now, of course, people like going to concerts. They can go and take their mind off the hook and have fun. They can't be having fun. Not in Greer's weird universe, where fun is alien and anathema to him. He doesn't understand it. He's never had any. Anyway, the Scottish Greens MSP was ripped to shreds on social media by people who are sick and tired of being taxed until the pipsqueak by the SNP government and their socialist mini-me's. Their Marxist mini-me's. He is a friendless, joyless Marxist, still living with mummy, who keeps telling him what a clever, handsome boy he is. I've seen more meat on a butcher's pencil, and he's got zero qualifications and zero life experience, yet he feels capable of telling us how we should live our lives. Let me tell you, Ross, get you in the army for 5 minutes, then you can tell me all about it as you're crying as you run back to mummy. Greer got more than he bargained for on social media after pushing the controversial plan to create a new tax on concert tickets in Scotland. It will just mean that concerts in Scotland will stop, of course. Hey, all part of the plan. The Scottish Greens MSP declared collecting just £1 from each ticket for big concerts at the likes of Hampden could raise millions for grassroots music and culture projects. And we know that that is a pile of horse shit, because it's like every other tax. Oh, we got the money, we'll spend it on independence. And it will not go down to grassroots music and culture projects. And if you truly gave one flying F about grassroots music and culture projects, you'd stop making things worse for them. You'd you'd encourage pubs not to close by handing over the money you were given to help them, instead of spending it on other things. Westminster gave you money to give to the hospitality sector, and you did not give it to the hospitality sector. And so pubs are closing, and with it, venues. So all this bullshit about wanting to help grassroots music is utter shit. It is it. Bullshit. What you want is more tax. And once you introduce that £1 tax, it becomes a £2 tax, a £10 tax, until eventually there's no concerts and misery is complete. After all, the joyless ginger Twiglet hates fun. The party is backing calls for a new levy from the Music Venue Trust, and Mr. Greer's colleague, Mark Ruskell, has asked Culture Secretary Angus Robertson, very apt, a man with no culture, I mean, apart from what grows in the nether regions, I suppose. I suppose you can call fungus a culture, can't you? Anyway, they want him to bring forward the proposal. It would apply to large stadium venues such as Hampden and Murrayfield. Pink, Foo Fighters are due to play in Hampden in 2024, with Taylor Swift due to perform at Murrayfield. Previous shows at Scotland's two biggest stadiums have included the likes of Calvin Harris, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Beyonce, Ed Sheeran, Harry Styles and Bruce Springsteen. There's only two there I'd bother even going to see, but hey, everybody's got a different taste of music, haven't they? Bruce Springsteen, Red Hot Chili Peppers, in case you were wondering. The rest of them, not that bothered. Anyway, Mr. Greer's comment on X did not go down with many people. Didn't go down, well, his comment didn't go down, but I bet he did. Anyway, this is including the whisky industry figure Paul Dempsey, who wasn't alone in bringing up the SNP Greens government's failure to pass on business tax rates relief, such as those available south of the border, which I mentioned, that was the relief. They said to all these hospitalities, look, here's lots of money. We'll give it to the SNP government and they'll hand it to you. The SNP government went, oh, thank you very much. Ah, precious. They're spending it on independence. And they didn't give it over. What Westminster needs to do in future is not hand the money to the SNP government, but hand it directly to the people it needs to go to. That will really annoy the SNP government. And so it's a win-win. Anyway, he responded, offering grassroots music and hospitality venues business rates parity in line with other parts of the country would support developing music, arts, culture and hospitality way more than sticking a quid on every hydro ticket. Exactly what I said. Same brain. Hey, hive mind of intelligence, you see. This is what happens when you get intelligent people. And I'm not claiming that I'm super intelligent, but I'm not stupid. And I know that helping venues to let local artists perform, it's a far better and worthy thing than taxing people. But of course it's got nothing to do with venues, it's got nothing to do with encouraging music. It's got everything to do with tax. Raising money to spend on their little pet projects and to create misery and poverty. Let's not get away from what this man is. A joyless, friendless, Marxist loser. A man who's only in power because Sturgeon signed them in. The people of Scotland did not vote these people into power. And yet look at the damage they're doing. The sooner Butte House Agreement dies, the sooner these dangerous Marxists can piss off back to the backbenches where they can cry into their foo-foos and suck their thumbs or other things. Not necessarily theirs. One person said, cut the rates on pubs and venues. You're even given the money to do that. Unfortunately, it's paying for pretendy embassies and ferry overruns. Another hit back. Collecting is just a nice way to say tax. Give us more of your hard-earned money so we can waste it as we please. How about let people keep more of their own money and spend it as they see fit, like we should all do as adults. We need less government and more personal freedom. Well, if you keep voting for the SNP, what do you expect? In a dig at Mr. Greer's student politics persona, let's be honest, he's not a student. He was a student for one term at university and then gave it up because, like so many things in his life, it was a bit too hard and he's not very bright. And then he didn't get a job and he's never had a job. He went into politics because, you know, going into politics is so much easier than working in a job where I'm expected to do work and where people will moan at me when I don't. And I have to deal with grown-ups who will not put up with the shit I expand out of my shit-filled mouth. But I am going to sit there with no qualifications experience and tell everyone, do this, do this, do this, because I'm a green and that makes me virtuous and wise. No, Ross, it makes you a complete dick, and a limp one at that. Anyway, Green's MSP Mr. Ruskell said the Music Venue Trust illustrated how just £1 from every ticket sale at gigs in Scotland's two largest stadiums would generate £1 million a year. £1 million a year going into central taxation, and none of it ever seeing the venues. Whereas, give them that rates relief money, the venues will thrive. More people will be able to perform, it will grow the arts, not shrink it, and people will be happy. And that, of course, is why they're not doing it. coming up. So there you go, another genius idea from the SNP's Wunderkind. The little ginger twiglet strikes again, and everybody rejects his stupid idea because it is stupid. And nobody believes one word about him saying, oh, it's going to go back into grassroots music. Quite clearly, no, it isn't. Nothing they say is true. Everything they say is a lie. And they're not doing it for support or doing any kind of good. They're doing it simply to tax people into abject poverty deliberately. When they're poor, you can control them. You can herd them. You can put them in their ghettos. It's what they want. It's another green idea, isn't it? The ghettoisation of the masses. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do keep up with the channel. Do keep subscribing. Do keep liking. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.